Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to continue talking about calendar bars. So last time was the calendar bars of the 80s, and this time it's the calendar bars of the 90s. Now I have more variations to show you for the 90s, so that's exciting. This one starts the decade off, and this is an Italian one. You see on the top it has a decorative pattern to it, and on this side it's similar to the earlier ones we saw, with the font on the bottom being fairly large, easy to read, and the entire back is a mirror finish. Here we have 1991, again, Italian bar. On the top, it has some scrolls to give a decorative pattern to it. As mentioned in the prior video, this is not a mint seal. These are actually small currency sleeves, so they don't get scratched up any more than they are. Again, a mirror finish, and the font is all on the bottom, and it's fairly large and easy to read. Now, I find this very interesting. 1992, it has the same scroll pattern decorative design on the top. Now, that is a little unusual because we've been seeing a different decorative pattern every single year up until now. Now, this is the only time that I'm aware of that it repeats the same decorative pattern. This bar is in Italian as well. The back here, it's still a mirror finish, but the PAMP logo is on the opposite corner, much smaller, and the font overall is much smaller. And we have here another 1992. Now, when I bought a couple of bars, they were actually described as being gold-plated. This one certainly does have a gold look to it. I'm not sure if that's just the tarnish that tarnished in a gold way, or if this one really is gold plated, but it has the same decorative pattern for 1992. Instead of in the Italian language, it's in English, but the other side is even more distinct. So this side has MKS, and it wishes you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm not sure if these bars were given away or they were employee only kind of bars, but I do know that certain bars were given to associates and those that MKS worked with. So it's very possible this was given as a gift. Now, the PAMP logo is on the right-hand corner. The Italian one had the PAMP logo in the left-hand corner. So that's a little different. As I mentioned in the last video, there are so many variants and types of calendar bars. It's hard to keep track. In fact, I'm sure there will be dozens and dozens of calendar bars that you will see that are never shown in my videos because there are just so many of them out there. Now, this one's special, for me anyway, because it's the 500-year anniversary of Columbus. So 1492 and 1992 are mentioned on the top. And this is, again, a Italian language bar. Now, if you notice the case here, it's an acrylic plastic case, and that's an original. Some of the calendar bars came in mint seals, and some were distributed in these acrylic cases. They came with a stand that you just insert the bottom into, and it could stand on your desk, right, just like that. So this one has the PAMP logo on the left-hand corner. The overall font size is small, so this is similar to the one we saw earlier that was 1992 as well, without the MKS back. And here we have 1993. Now the top here is fairly simple. It's just lines boxing around the year. This example is in English. This bar has some nice toning to it, and the font is fairly small. It's all on one line except for the logo and little box of 999. And here we have another 1993 bar. This one has some nice art on the top, and it's celebrating Europe. This side has a nice mirror finish, and the text on the bottom, one line except for the logo and the box of 999 in the other corner. And here we have 1994, the Italian version. On this side, we see a reverse that looks just like the other bars we've seen to date. And another 1994, but this one is English. And here we have a side-by-side to see the decorative pattern on the top is the same, but the languages of the bars are different. So one's Italian and one is in English. And on this side, they match as well. 1995, on the top, we have doves in a globe. I really like that design. That's really nice looking. This is in the Italian language. Side looks very mint. And another version of 1995. This time it's in English and it's gold plated. Again, when I bought this, it was described as being gold plated. I was a little skeptical, but it sure does look like it's gold plated. And this is another MKS Finance Christmas bar. This is 1996. It has a heart in the center and it's radiating. And that bar is actually in the original mint seal. So they did come in mint seals as well as those acrylic plastic cases. 1997. It has a sun in the center. And that sun you will actually see on a number of other PAMP products, including pendants. I can think of a couple pendants that do have that exact same looking sun. Italian bar in the acrylic case. Now this bar is different because you notice the surface on the top, except for the bottom, it's got a frosting to it. So before now we've seen on the back it was always a mirror finish. This one's very frosted, except for the bottom. And another 1997 bar. I'm very lucky to have this one. This bar is in English, but you see on this side, it's frosted and definitely is much, much different. So it says Hong Kong, and on the bottom, it mentions a bank in Hong Kong. This one has a lot more going on to it, so it's standing out from the prior ones we've seen. 1998, there's a ship in the bottle on the top. This is an Italian language bar. But on this side, it's much different because it actually mentions an electric company in, I believe, Switzerland. So having a company logo on the back of a calendar bar is not unusual. I've seen quite a few examples like that. And here we have 1999. This is an Italian language bar. On this side, the text is in fairly small print. It's a mirror finish. And I'm sure that that print is actually a little smaller than ones we saw earlier in the decade. Another 1999 bar, again in the Italian language. But this one is different because it has the logo for the electric company here on the back once again. So that wraps up the bars of the 90s. There are many, many other calendar bars out there, I'm sure. This is just a sample of the ones, and it gives you a taste of what's out there. Thanks for joining me today. Take care.